opened Ohio Athletic Conference action by outlasting Wilmington College 13-12 on Townsend Field inside Williams Stadium down in Southwest Ohio. BW improved to 1-1 on the season and 1-0 in Ohio Athletic Conference play, and they improved to 20-3 overall in the all-time series against Wilmington, who fell to 1-1 and 0-1 in the OAC play. BW has now won the last 13 meetings against the Quakers, and in those meetings, the Yellow Jackets have outscored the opposition 548-168. BW was led by senior All-OAC running back John Murray Jr. out of Cincinnati Withrow High School, and once again, he enjoyed the trip back to his near his hometown as he and senior quarterback Reese Weimer combined for 202 of the Yellow Jackets' 230 yards of total offense. Murray Jr. rushed for 87 yards on 21 carries, while Weimer, who only played in the second half, rushed for 80 yards on 12 carries and scored the game-winning touchdown. He also completed 2 of 5 passes for 31 yards. In addition, senior wideout Elijah Arnett led the receiving corps with 3 catches for 44 yards, and defensively, senior linebacker Mason Levasseur recorded 9 tackles, while junior linebacker Vontae Jackson tallied 8 stops. And since Coach Hilvert is sitting to my right now, we're going to take a break on the look back at the week that was, and we're going to talk BW Yellow Jacket football. Coach, first of all, thank you very much for joining me. Pleasure to see you.
Appreciate it. It's good seeing you too.
So congratulations on getting back to your winning ways with the victory over Wilmington. How important was it to see a bounce back from your guys this week after what was a tough start to the season the week prior against Mount St. Joseph?
Oh, there's no doubt. We had a bad taste in our mouth from obviously a tough emotional loss in the first game of the season. But it was great to be able to bounce back. It was a really good football game. You know, I think our guys faced a lot of adversity during the game, but it was able to bounce back from it and be able to outlast Wilmington in the final moments. And guys stepped up and made plays at the end of the game. I was really proud of our defense, the way they stood some of the situations they were in during the game, from a goal line stand right before halftime, which was a huge deal. And then obviously at the end, being able to overcome 4 pass interference calls to make a play at the end of the game to win 13-12.
I mean, it's hard to overcome one. How do you overcome 4? Like, how do the guys overcome so many penalties in a critical time in the game?
Well, there's no doubt. I think we learned from last week. I think we played the next play, kept on playing our game. Guys, did a good job. I think learned a lot from last week, learned a lot about ourselves. And we went back to playing dark side defense. Guys were flying around the football. We were getting to the quarterback. I think we got him rattled. I think it was one of the reasons we had success. And they have some great receivers. I really do. I mean, their new quarterback did a great job of throwing the ball, but they got some really good receivers. We did a really good job of covering those guys.
Talk about the dark side mindset. What goes into it, and how important is it that all 11 guys buy into that mentality for it to be successful?
Right. I think for us, our dark side defense, you got to be able to do your job, play with relentless effort, great attitude, pursuit to the ball, just relentless, just keep going after. We want offense to feel like there's 15 to 20 guys out on the football field. And when you have opportunities to make a play, make a play. And you got to be able to play physical, and I think our guys really took a huge improvement from the first game to the second game on the defense side of the ball.
When you look at your defense, Mason and Vontae, what kind of difference do they make in that linebacking core, in that second level of defense that really stands out to you and really makes life difficult on an opposing quarterback?
But first of all, Mason obviously is a really, really smart football player. Does a really good gets our guys in the right alignment and stuff like that. And Devontae, he was flying around, had a lot. He made the most of the opportunities, getting after the quarterback. I believe he had 3 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks. He was making plays all over the place, and he's a very coachable young man. He's getting better and better with the experience he's getting on the field. He's still young, and he's another guy who's a smart football player, but he can run around and make plays on the defense side of the ball.
He showed a lot last year in limited time that he had a lot of potential. How nice is it as his head coach to see that potential marry up with an intense work ethic, both on the field, in the weight room, and in the media or in the film room, to really hone in on his craft and get better, knowing that he was going to have to step up to fill some voids that were left by graduation?
No doubt. Obviously, he had to fill a big void with Nick Pankow from last year. But Devontae, me and him we have a great relationship, and I've pulled him to the side, obviously, after the last season and said, sky's the limit for you. I mean, he has a chance to be a really, really good football player, a guy who can leave his mark at BW. And I have high expectations of him. And I told him, you got to be able to turn it on all the time, from the weight room to on the practice field. And he's done that. He's really has been open to that, and he's done that, and he's taken his play to another level. He really has.
Switching over to the other side of the ball, we've talked a lot about John Murray Jr. and what he means to the program. How nice is it to have him back for another year and knowing that you have that rock to carry the ball in John Murray Jr.? Yeah,
it's nice. Obviously, all the experience he brings to the table, I think can help, obviously, the younger guys and some of the guys and be that stable guy that can help our offense grow, because we do have some young guys in certain positions, can help those guys get through some of those tough times and growing pains that we're going to have on the offensive side of the ball. And be able to have him for another year, obviously, is a huge blessing.
How do you keep him healthy, given the workload that he's expected to carry, and more importantly, wants to carry, because he wants to be the guy that leads you down the field?
I think we got to continue to do a good job, because I think we have some guys behind him that can help lessen that load at times, with Victor Ford and DJ Griffiths. And just be smart with him during the week, during practice and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I call him Dr. Murray because he's been around for about 8 years. So, no, I mean, just being smart in those ways.
Yep. Offensively, he had to make a quarterback change in the middle of the game last week against Wilmington. That's never an easy situation. How did the guys respond to the change?
I think the guys did. We needed a spark, and I think Reese gave that to us in the fourth quarter. Did a really good job with running the football and adding that dimension to the offense. Really helped us. And him, I think he rushed for 83 yards, I believe, on the offense side of the ball. Made some key plays for us to sustain drives too. Because defensively, we were out there for a while, and sustaining some drives really helped our defense and helped our offense get some confidence, and did a really good job.
The thing that I've seen out of Reese over the last few years is he's very quick. He's also very sound in his decision-making, and he's probably one of the toughest guys on the field, because he's not overly big, but he's smart and knows how to stay away from those big hits.
Yes, he does. He's not afraid to be able to run in there and stuff like that. He's not afraid at all. But, he does. He's elusive. He can make people miss. He has that moxie about himself, that confidence that he has in himself, which I think helped us, obviously, in the fourth quarter to win that game.
Is it something that you're going to look to continue with Reese, or are you just going to go by committee?
We'll go by I said we'll start Joey, obviously, this week. And, obviously, there's going to be opportunities down the road for us, as a team for Reese. But, obviously, we'll start with Joey this week. And I think our guys are confident in both our guys, with Joey and Reese. And we need to be, obviously, on both sides of the ball, play really well this week. And obviously on special teams too. Guys got to be on all cylinders this week for a big game we have in front of us.
Yeah, speaking of this week, you mentioned getting a bad taste out of your mouth from the loss to Mount St. Joe's with the win over Wilmington. How nice would it be to get rid of that taste that you've had to sit on for 10 months now, after playing so well against John Carroll for 3 quarters and then having it fall apart in the fourth last year?
Yeah, I think that definitely is on me. I tell our guys all the time, you try to get better from situations like that. You think about it every day for the last 10 months. That's definitely, you have to. And obviously, you evaluate things that you did wrong and things you did good. And for us, we played the last 10 minutes of the game. We didn't play well. That's really what it boils down to when you look back at it and you watch the film as a million times that we watched it. It's just the last 10 minutes of the game. And we know what we have to do. Obviously, this game, John Carroll's a really good football program with some really good football players. I got a lot of respect for those guys. So we got to be ready to play.
You're taking the show on the road one more time.
Yeah.
It's been 3 straight. How have you handled that? That's a lot of travel early in the season. And more importantly, you haven't gotten to play in front of the home fans yet.
No, the thing about it, too, it's really 4 weeks, because we have a scrimmage at Worcester. And then, obviously, we played the last 2 weeks, and now, obviously, we'll play another game on the road. So you have basically a month on the road. And I think our guys have handled it well, being those road warriors that you need to be. So it's going to be nice to be able to get it home next week.
Yeah, but before you get home, you get that one more big game against John Carroll. We mentioned it being a road game. You're going to face a tough atmosphere, but you're going to have a lot of people that are making that road trip with you, and that has to make you feel good that you may not have a lot of support, but the support that you do have is going to be loud and proud.
I'll say this right now. The last 2 weeks we've been on the road. The jacket backers, the people that have been at our games, the last 2 games, I really want to kudos to them. I really appreciate their support because the last 2 games we've had a huge support with those people that were at our game, and I expect no less this week. I know there'll be even probably more people that are there at the game, understanding how big of a rivalry this is. I believe it's one of the best small college rivalries in the country.
Sure is. It's fun to be a part of when you're broadcasting it. I'm sure it's fun to coach in. It's a little bit more fun and enjoyable when you get to watch a win, and hopefully that does happen for you on Saturday afternoon.
I know our guys are excited today. Obviously, we started the week off with a team meeting today with watching film and obviously getting ready for those guys. And I know those guys are excited about the opportunity in front of us. That's why you come to BW playing big games like that. Be part of a great rivalry like that. And I know our guys are fired up about this week.
Is it nice to know, and we'll get you out on this note, is it nice to know that while you obviously set the tone for the week with an important message, that you don't have to say much because those senior leaders and the guys who came back for a 5th year are going to make sure that message is delivered on a play-by-play basis in practice?
Yeah, our guys know this week. It started at 6 a.m. this morning, and they understand, obviously, what this game means.
All right, well, Coach, thank you very much for the
so
time.
Much. I really appreciate
Best
it. Thanks
of luck.
for having me.
I appreciate your time, and go get a dub on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, that's Coach Jim Hilvert of the Pullman Wallace University football team. We thank